Success doesn't care about how you feel, only whether you keep going when your mind says to stop. There will come a time, a moment in every journey, no matter how grand or humble, when you will feel like giving up. You will be tired, you will be broken, you will feel the weight of your dreams pressing down on you, suffocating you, making you wonder if the cost is worth it. The road will seem impossibly long, and your mind, that inner voice you've trusted for so long, will begin to scream. Stop. It will tell you that it's too much, too hard, too painful. Take a break. It will whisper, rest. And most people, most of the time, listen. But success does not care how you feel in that moment. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're frustrated, if you feel like you've been knocked down 100 times. Success doesn't measure you by your emotions. It measures you by your actions, your perseverance, your refusal to quit no matter how badly you want to. You see, there's a secret that the most successful people in history understood, a secret that was passed down through the ages, from Edison to Carnegie, from Lincoln to Disney. A secret that doesn't promise an easy path, but guarantees one thing: transformation. That secret is this: success is not determined by how much talent you have, how many resources you possess, or how many breaks you get along the way. Success is determined by one simple yet powerful thing: your ability to keep going when your mind says stop. Because it is in that moment, when everything inside of you is screaming to quit, when the struggle feels unbearable, when the world seems to be working against you, it is in that moment that the greatest transformations take place. The person you are now, the person who feels weak, uncertain, and exhausted, is standing at the very threshold of becoming someone more. The moment you push past that resistance, when you force yourself to keep going, you unlock a power within yourself that you never knew existed. A power that is untapped, ready to surge through you and propel you to the next level of greatness. This isn't just about winning the race. It's about the person you become by running it, no matter how grueling, no matter how much it hurts. You see, the world doesn't reward you for your talent alone. It rewards you for your will to endure, to rise, and to press forward, even when everything within you tells you to stop. Think of the greatest figures in history. Think of Thomas Edison, who after countless failures, who after more than 1,000 attempts at creating the light bulb, refused to quit. When others would have packed up, when they would have told themselves, it's not meant to be, Edison kept going. He didn't care how many times he stumbled. He didn't care how many failures he faced. What mattered was that every single time he fell, he stood up again, and he kept going. He knew that the next step was the one that would change the world, and in that relentless pursuit, in that refusal to quit, he gave us light. Or think of Abraham Lincoln, whose path to greatness was nothing short of riddled with obstacles. He lost elections. He failed in business. He faced personal tragedies that would break anyone. And yet, he kept going. Every time he fell, he rose again. Not because it was easy, but because he knew that greatness was not for those who quit when they felt overwhelmed. Greatness is for those who keep moving step by step, even when the storm rages around them. It's in these moments, the moments when you're ready to quit, that the seeds of your success are sown. But the difference between the successful and the average, the winners and the quitters, lies in one simple choice. Will you keep going? Will you choose to step into the unknown, to walk the path filled with challenges, obstacles, and uncertainty? Will you choose to walk forward when everything inside you says to retreat? Understand this: success is not the absence of failure. It's not the avoidance of pain. It's not even about how many times you get knocked down. Success is about how many times you get up. It's about how you face the fear, the self-doubt, and the exhaustion. It's about deciding once and for all that no matter what, you will keep going. You will not let life dictate your future. You will not let your failures define you. You will not let your tiredness stop you from reaching your dreams. And when you choose to keep going, when you decide that you are going to finish what you started, you begin to change. You begin to become the person who isn't afraid of the struggle. You become the person who embraces it, who sees each failure as a lesson, each setback as an opportunity to rise again. You become unstoppable. This is where transformation begins, not in comfort, not in safety, not in waiting for the perfect moment. Transformation begins in the struggle, in the discomfort, in the moments when you feel like you can't go on. That's when the real work begins. So don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Don't wait for the stars to align. There is no perfect moment. There is only now, right now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your decision to keep going. So make that decision. Step into the unknown. Keep going, even when your mind says stop. And when you do, you'll discover a truth that only those who have pushed through the hardest battles can understand. You are stronger than you think. The human spirit is capable of far more than we give it credit for. It is in these moments of pushing through that you unlock your true potential. The road to success is not easy. It was never meant to be. But the beauty of it is that with every step you take, you become someone more. You grow, you evolve, you transform. You become someone who is capable of achieving greatness. And when you look back on all the obstacles you faced, you will realize that each one was a necessary part of your journey. Each challenge was a lesson. Each failure was a stepping stone. But the key is in the decision to keep going, to not give up when the world tells you to not quit when you're tired, when you feel defeated, when you're unsure if you have what it takes, because this journey is not about avoiding struggle. It's about facing it head on and saying, I will not stop, not now, not ever. So what will it be? Will you let the storm control you, or will you rise above it? Will you let your mind tell you to stop, or will you choose to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep pushing until you've reached the top of the mountain? You've been climbing. The choice is yours, and it's in your hands, right now, right here. Will you keep going? Because success isn't waiting for you to feel better. It's waiting for you to show up. It's waiting for you to keep going, to keep fighting, and to keep believing, even when everything inside of you says stop. So decide now. Keep going, because the world is waiting for you to rise. You stand at a crossroads. You feel it, don't you? The weight of this moment, the weight of choice. It's in the air around you, thick and heavy, like the calm before a storm. You can hear the distant rumble, the quiet call of something greater than where you stand now, something that promises to elevate you but requires something of you in return. It asks you to step into the unknown, to leave behind the comfort of what you know and venture into the realm of dreams, growth, and boundless potential. But there's hesitation, isn't there? That quiet whisper in your mind, the one that tells you it's safer to stay where you are, to keep things predictable, to avoid the pain of failure, the uncertainty of what could go wrong. What would you do? I ask you to listen to that voice within you that wants more. The voice that has always been there, buried deep under layers of doubt and fear. It speaks in moments of silence, in the spaces between your daily routine, in those fleeting glimpses of your dreams that come to you when your mind isn't busy with the noise of the world. It speaks to you when you dare to imagine the life you've always wanted, the life that calls to you like a lighthouse in the fog. You are standing at the edge of something incredible, something extraordinary. And right now, at this very moment, you must make a choice. The path of comfort and familiarity lies behind you. It's easy to follow. It promises safety, security, and a sense of control. But the truth is, comfort is a lie. It's a deceptive veil that keeps you trapped, stagnant, in a place that doesn't allow you to grow, doesn't allow you to reach your full potential. Comfort tells you that you are enough just as you are, and that is a dangerous lie, because deep down you know you're capable of so much more. But there is another path before you. The path of growth, of challenges, of dreams yet unfulfilled. It is the path of uncertainty, but also the path of infinite possibilities. The path that will ask everything of you. It will demand your strength, your courage, your discipline. It will force you to confront the parts of yourself that you've kept hidden, to shed the doubts and fears that have kept you tethered to the ground. This path won't be easy. It won't be comfortable, but it will be worth it. Imagine what you could achieve if you chose the unknown. Imagine the person you could become if you decided to embrace the discomfort and pain of growth. Think about the greatness that lies just beyond your fear, just beyond the edge of your comfort zone. Can you see it? Can you feel it? But before you step into that unknown, you must first ask yourself, what do I believe? Your belief system, the foundation of your mindset, will be the lens through which you view every challenge, every setback, every triumph. If you believe that success is for the lucky few, for the privileged few, then you will never step into your full potential. If you believe that you are somehow less than the giants who walk this earth before you men like Edison, Carnegie, Disney, and Ford, then you will remain in the shadows, unable to step into the light that is your destiny. But if you choose to believe in yourself, to believe that you too can achieve greatness, then the world opens up to you. Your belief becomes your fuel. It propels you forward when the road is tough, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, when the world tries to tell you that you're not good enough. There's a reason why the most successful people throughout history have had unwavering belief in themselves. They didn't let the opinions of others define them. They didn't let the failures and rejections along the way deter them. They believed in their own potential, in their ability to transform the world around them. And so I ask you again, what do you believe? Do you believe that your potential is limitless? Do you believe that you have within you the power to create the life you've always dreamed of? Because if you do, then you've already taken the first step toward greatness. But belief alone is not enough. Belief must be accompanied by clarity. You must know what you want. You must have a clear vision of where you're headed. Without vision, you will wander aimlessly, lost in the fog of uncertainty. Without clarity, you will become distracted by every shiny object that comes your way, every new idea that seems promising, only to find yourself further from your true purpose. This is where many people falter. They are unclear about what they truly want. They chase success for the sake of success without ever defining what success means to them. But when you know exactly what you want, when your vision is crystal clear, nothing can sway you. The world may try to throw every obstacle in your way, but with clarity you will rise above it. You will move forward with purpose and direction. So take a moment and ask yourself, what do I truly want? What is the vision for my life, for my future? What does success look like to me? Once you have that vision, you must align your actions with it. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and reality. It is the habit of showing up every single day, no matter what. It's the act of putting in the work even when you don't feel like it, even when the world seems to be against you. It's the decision to keep moving forward one step at a time, no matter how small those steps may seem. Discipline is not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it is the one thing that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The successful do not wait for inspiration to strike. They create their own inspiration through action. And once you have discipline, you must have resilience. The road to success is not a straight line. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But it is in those moments, those dark nights of the soul, that your resilience will be tested. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to rise stronger after every fall. It is the refusal to stay down when life knocks you to the ground. It is the courage to get up, to keep going, to press forward when everything in you says to quit. The greatest stories of success are not written by those who never failed. They are written by those who failed again and again, but refused to stay down. They are written by those who chose resilience over surrender. Now you may be asking yourself, how do I find the strength to keep going? How do I stay resilient in the face of failure? The answer is simple. You learn, you grow, you adapt. You use every setback as a lesson, every failure as an opportunity to become better. Learning is the key to growth. The world is constantly changing, and in order to keep up, you must be willing to learn to adapt, to evolve. Never stop learning, never stop growing, and finally we come to gratitude. Gratitude is the secret weapon that will fuel your journey, that will keep you grounded as you rise. It is the recognition that every step you take, no matter how small, is a gift. It is the understanding that even in the hardest moments, there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It reminds you that you are not alone on this journey. It connects you to the power of the present moment and gives you the strength to keep moving forward. As you stand at this crossroads, remember this: the unknown path of growth. Dreams and potential is not easy, but it is worth it. Every challenge, every obstacle, every moment of discomfort is leading you to the person you are meant to become. So choose the path of greatness. Choose the unknown. Choose the life you've always dreamed of, because the world needs what you have to offer. The world needs your unique gifts, your voice, your vision, and only you can give it to them. You are not here by accident. You are here because the world is waiting for you to step into your potential. And if you have the courage to take that first step, you will find that the world will open up to you in ways you never imagined. The only question left is, will you choose to take that step? You were born with potential. The very air you breathe is infused with possibility, and the moment you open your eyes to the world, you are confronted by choices that will shape the trajectory of your life. The question is not whether you have the potential to succeed. The question is, will you embrace the challenges that life throws your way? Will you rise when the world pushes you down, or will you retreat to the comfort of the familiar, to the safety of what is known? I'm here to tell you that the path to growth is not paved with ease. It is not built on comfort or the avoidance of hardship. No growth is forged in the fire of adversity. It is in the struggles, the setbacks, the moments when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders that you are given the opportunity to become the person you were always meant to be. It is not the absence of challenges that shapes success. It is the willingness to face them head-on, to keep moving forward when every bone in your body screams for you to stop. Think about the giants who came before you. Think about the legends, men and women who have shaped history, not by avoiding hardship, but by confronting it with relentless resolve. Take Abraham Lincoln, for example, a man who, despite losing multiple elections, faced personal loss, economic hardship, and the brutal weight of an entire nation divided, refused to quit. He didn't let the setbacks define him. He let them refine him. He knew that growth was not a linear path. It was a winding road that demanded courage, resilience, and the ability to rise after every fall. Lincoln's greatest victories were born out of his defeats, out of the pain he endured, and the strength he summoned from within to keep pushing forward. You too will face defeat. You will encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. There will be times when the weight of the world feels unbearable. But in those moments, remember this: it is not the setback that defines you. It is how you respond. It is how you choose to move forward when all seems lost. This is where belief comes in. If you do not believe in your ability to overcome, then you are already defeated before you even begin. But if you believe that within you lies the power to rise, to adapt, to keep fighting, then no challenge, no failure, no setback can ever hold you down for long. Belief is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without it, you are like a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the storms of life. With it, you become an unstoppable force, navigating through the fiercest winds and the highest waves. Belief is not just about wishing for success. It's about knowing deep down that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's about understanding that you are more than capable of turning your challenges into opportunities, your defeats into triumphs. But belief alone is not enough. Belief must be accompanied by clarity. You must know what you're fighting for. You must have a vision that drives you, a purpose that propels you forward even when the path is unclear. You see, clarity is what turns belief into action. It is the sharp focus that cuts through the fog of uncertainty and provides direction when you feel lost. Without clarity, you are merely drifting, responding to whatever life throws at you. With clarity, you become the master of your destiny. You know exactly what you want, why you want it, and how to get there. Think about the vision that drives you. What is it that you truly desire? What is the life you want to create for yourself? Perhaps it's the freedom to do what you love, to build something that leaves a legacy. Perhaps it's the desire to be the best version of yourself, to grow into someone who can look back and say, I gave it my all, I became who I was meant to be. Whatever your vision is, it is yours. It is unique to you, and it is the fuel that will keep you moving forward, even when the road is tough. But clarity and belief are not enough to turn your vision into reality. You need discipline, the discipline to stay the course, even when distractions pull at you. when temptation whispers in your ear to take the easy way out. Discipline is what keeps you focused on the prize, no matter how far away it seems. It is the ability to show up every single day, to put in the work, to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Discipline is not glamorous, it is not sexy, but it is the one thing that separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. It is the difference between dreaming and doing. Every day that you commit to your goals, no matter how small the action, you are building the life you want. You are building the future you desire. And one day, when you look back at all that you've achieved, you will see that it wasn't the big leaps that got you there. It was the small, consistent steps taken day after day, driven by the power of discipline. But even with belief clarity and discipline, there will be times when you feel as though the world is against you. There will be moments when you question whether it's worth it, when the obstacles in front of you seem too great to overcome. This is where resilience comes in. Resilience is the ability to bounce back. It is the strength to rise again, no matter how many times you fall. It is the ability to see failure not as a permanent condition, but as a temporary setback, a lesson on the path to success. Every great achiever, every person who has made an impact on the world has been tested by adversity. They have faced failure, rejection, and hardship, but they didn't let those moments define them. They chose resilience. Take Thomas Edison, for example, the man who gave the world the light bulb. How many times did he fail before he succeeded? How many experiments did he conduct that resulted in failure? Thousands. And yet, when asked about his failures, he didn't see them as failures at all. He saw them as stepping stones. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is resilience, the ability to keep going, to keep learning, to keep adapting even when everything around you says to quit. And resilience is not just about bouncing back from setbacks. It's about learning and growing through them. It's about taking every failure, every disappointment, and using it as fuel for the next step forward. The greatest successes are often born out of the greatest struggles. Now you may be wondering, how do I find the strength to keep going? How do I stay resilient when everything seems to be falling apart? The answer is simple. Keep learning, keep growing. Adapt to the challenges that come your way. The world is always changing, and in order to succeed, you must be willing to evolve with it. The most successful people are the ones who are constantly learning, constantly adapting, constantly improving. They don't see failure as an endpoint. They see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. This is where the true magic happens, when you embrace every challenge as an opportunity, every setback as a lesson, every moment of discomfort as a stepping stone on the path to greatness. But in the end, none of this would be possible without one final ingredient: gratitude. Gratitude is what keeps you grounded. It is the reminder that even in the face of hardship, there is always something to be thankful for. It is the understanding that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. It is the recognition that you are not in this alone, that there is beauty and power in the struggle. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It keeps you connected to the present moment, to the journey, rather than getting lost in the destination. When you face challenges, when you feel like giving up, remember to be grateful. Grateful for the lessons. Grateful for the strength you are developing. Grateful for the opportunity to become the person you were meant to be. You are not defined by your failures. You are not defined by the obstacles in your way. You are defined by your response to them. You are defined by your ability to rise, to keep moving forward, to turn every challenge into an opportunity for growth. And if you choose to face the challenges ahead with belief, clarity, discipline, resilience, learning, and gratitude, there is nothing you cannot achieve. So choose to embrace the struggle. Choose to rise after every fall. Choose to become the person you were always meant to be, because your future is waiting for you, and it's far greater than anything you've ever imagined. You know, there's a moment in every journey, in every dream, in every battle, where the road ahead feels too steep, too long, too unforgiving. You've taken step after step, and yet the summit still seems impossibly far. You feel the weight of the world pressing down on you. the exhaustion gnawing at your spirit, and the doubt creeping in like a shadow that you can't escape. It would be so easy, wouldn't it? So simple to turn around, to walk away, to go back to the familiar, to the comfort of what you know, because here in this very moment, the unknown feels like a beast you can't defeat. But what if I told you that the growth you seek, the transformation, the success, the mastery is not found in the easy moments, not in the ones where you coast, where you slip by without struggle. No, it's in the struggle itself. It's in the discomfort, the rejection, the moments where you feel like everything is falling apart. That's where the real magic happens, because growth is not a straight line. It's not a gentle upward curve where you steadily climb towards success. No, growth is a jagged, brutal ascent, filled with setbacks, failures, and moments when you feel like you can't go on. But that's the very point. That's where it happens. There are people who will tell you that growth is easy, that success comes with the right strategy or the perfect formula. They'll give you tips, hacks, shortcuts, promising you a quick fix. But the truth is, there is no shortcut. There is no magic pill. The only way to truly grow to become the person you were always meant to be is through perseverance, through facing rejection, through pushing forward when everything inside of you says to quit, through enduring the discomfort of progress. Think of all the greats who have shaped history. People like Thomas Edison, who failed more times than you can count before inventing the light bulb. Do you think Edison just walked into his lab and found the solution? No. He spent years in the dark, failing over and over again, rejected by his peers, laughed at by his critics, and yet he kept going. Why? Because he knew that growth, true growth, doesn't happen without struggle. It's the sweat, the grit, the never-ending drive that moves you forward. Or take Abraham Lincoln, who was rejected countless times before he ever became president. He was defeated in elections, in business, ventures in life. But he didn't let those defeats define him. He didn't let them stop him. He kept going, and eventually the world would know his name as one of the most influential leaders in history. Lincoln's greatness didn't come from avoiding hardship. It came from his ability to face it head-on and push through no matter how many times life knocked him down. And what about Walt Disney? A man who was told he lacked imagination, who was fired from his job at a newspaper for not being creative enough. Yet he had a vision, a belief in his dream that refused to die. He faced rejection, financial hardship and ridicule, but he kept going. And today his name is synonymous with innovation, creativity, and success. These men didn't become legends because they avoided pain. They became legends because they embraced the struggle, because they kept going when it would have been easier to quit. And if you want to make your mark on the world, you must do the same. You will face moments where you doubt yourself, where you question whether you're capable of achieving your dreams. And in those moments, remember this: the only thing that separates those who succeed from those who fail is the decision to keep going no matter what. It's that simple. The ones who persevere, the ones who decide that quitting is not an option, they are the ones who rise to the top. But how do you find the strength to keep going when the road is long, when the obstacles seem insurmountable? How do you summon the resilience to push through when everything is telling you to stop? The first step is mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world, the foundation upon which everything else is built. If you believe that success is reserved for the lucky or the talented, then you will never push past your limits. But if you believe that you are capable of overcoming any obstacle, that every setback is just a stepping stone to something greater, then you will unlock a power within you that will carry you through even the toughest of times. This is where belief comes in. Your belief in yourself is your fuel. It is what keeps you going when others tell you to stop. It is what drives you to push forward when you don't see immediate results, when the work feels endless and the finish line is nowhere in sight. Belief is not about blind optimism or hoping that things will magically fall into place. It's about knowing deep down that you have the strength, the resilience, and the perseverance to make it through anything. But belief is not enough on its own. You must have clarity. Clarity about what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to sacrifice to get there. Without clarity, you are like a ship adrift in the open ocean, tossed about by the waves with no destination in sight. But with clarity, you become the captain of your own ship, charting a course and steering yourself toward your goals, no matter how turbulent the waters may get. Clarity helps you focus. It keeps you from getting distracted by the noise, by the things that won't help you move forward. It helps you stay on track when life throws challenges your way. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, you can put all your energy into it. You can take each setback, each moment of failure, and use it to sharpen your focus, to refine your strategy, to keep moving forward. But clarity and belief are not enough without action. Action is where the rubber meets the road. You can believe in your dreams all you want, but if you don't take action, if you don't put in the work every single day, nothing will change. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the tool that transforms your dreams into reality, and the more consistent your action, the closer you get to your goals. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline is the ability to show up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to put in the work when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when the results don't seem to be coming fast enough. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what turns potential into achievement. But even with all the belief, clarity, and action in the world, there will be moments when you stumble, you will fail, you will face rejection, you will encounter obstacles that seem too great to overcome. But this is where resilience becomes essential. Resilience is the ability to keep going when the road is hard, when failure seems certain, when the world is telling you to stop. Resilience is what allows you to get back up after you fall. It's what makes you stronger after each defeat. It's what turns failure into a lesson and keeps you moving forward, no matter how many times you're knocked down. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when you face adversity, when you push through the discomfort, when you keep going, even though the world seems against you. Growth happens in those moments when you choose not to quit, not to settle for less than your best, not to let fear or doubt hold you back. So the question is, what will you do when the going gets tough? Will you choose to retreat to comfort, to the safety of what you know? Or will you choose to keep going, to push through the discomfort, to embrace the struggle, knowing that on the other side lies growth, transformation, and success? The choice is yours. But I can tell you this, if you decide to keep going, if you choose to persevere, no matter the difficulty, you will unlock a power within yourself that you never knew existed. You will rise above every obstacle, every setback, every failure. And when you look back on your journey, you will see that it was not the challenges that defeated you. It was the decision to keep going that made all the difference. Keep going. The world is waiting for you to rise. In this life, you are constantly faced with choices. Choices that shape the person you will become. But there's one decision, one realization that will make all the difference in the world, defining your purpose. You can go through life living on autopilot, allowing the world to push you wherever it may, or you can choose to step forward with clarity, with intention, and with a sense of purpose, so clear, so powerful that nothing, no challenge, no setback, no obstacle can deter you from your path. Purpose is not just a word, it is the very fuel that powers your journey. It's the spark that ignites your passion, the force that drives you to rise when you're knocked down, the reason you keep going when everything seems to be falling apart. Without purpose, you wander aimlessly. Without purpose, your efforts are scattered, your energy unfocused, and the hardships of life feel like burdens too heavy to carry. But when you have purpose, when you know exactly why you are doing what you're doing, when you are crystal clear on the life you are working to create, everything changes. The struggles become opportunities for growth. The setbacks become lessons. The difficult moments are no longer obstacles to your success, but stepping stones that elevate you. Purpose transforms everything. Look at the legends of history, the men and women who shaped the world with their lives. Take a moment to consider the visionaries like Thomas Edison, who refused to give up after thousands of failed experiments. Edison didn't just dream of changing the world with electricity. He had a purpose. His purpose was so strong that no amount of failure or rejection could stop him. He knew that his work would bring light to the world and that purpose kept him moving forward even when everything seemed impossible. Abraham Lincoln, too, had a purpose that was greater than himself. In the darkest moments of his presidency, when the country was torn apart by civil war and his leadership was constantly questioned, Lincoln didn't falter. He stood firm, driven by the purpose of preserving the Union and ending slavery. It was his unshakable belief in this purpose that allowed him to overcome the personal and political battles that threatened to consume him. The weight of the nation's struggles was immense, but his purpose gave him the strength to keep moving forward, to press on through the hardest of times. Purpose is the engine that drives you. It's the thing that makes you wake up every morning with determination. Without it, your journey is like a ship adrift on the ocean, tossed by the waves with no direction, no destination. But when you have purpose, you are the captain of your own ship, charting a course, navigating through the storms with clarity, with confidence, and with unwavering focus. So how do you define your purpose? How do you find the thing that will drive you through the darkest of days and push you to achieve what others deem impossible? It starts with belief. Belief in yourself, belief in your potential, and belief in the value of your journey. You must first believe that you are worthy of greatness. This belief is not about arrogance or entitlement. It's about understanding that you are capable of extraordinary things. It's about knowing deep within your soul that you were not put on this earth to live an ordinary life, to follow someone else's path, or to settle for less than what you are truly capable of. Once you believe in your own potential, you can begin to clarify your purpose. What is it that you truly want? What is it that burns inside of you, that excites you, that calls to you even in the quietest moments? This is your purpose. It may not be immediately obvious, but it's there within you, waiting to be discovered. Your purpose may come from your passions, from your values, from your experiences. It could be the desire to create something that leaves a lasting impact on the world, or it could be something more personal, the pursuit of a life filled with meaning, fulfillment, and joy. Whatever it is, it must be something that resonates with your core, something that feels true to who you are, something that feels worth fighting for. When you define your purpose, you are no longer walking blindly. You are no longer going through the motions of life, hoping for something to change. You are taking control of your destiny, and that is where the power lies. But purpose alone is not enough. You must also have clarity. Clarity about the path you need to take. Clarity about the steps you need to follow. Clarity about what success looks like to you. Without clarity, even the best intentions can get lost in the noise of life. The distractions, the setbacks, the doubts, they all become overwhelming when you don't have a clear vision of where you're headed. Think about a person who wants to run a marathon but has no map or training plan. They might start with enthusiasm, but without a clear direction, they will quickly get lost. They'll be exhausted before they even reach the halfway point. But a person who defines their purpose, who understands why they are running, and then breaks that purpose down into clear, actionable steps will succeed. The road will still be hard, the journey will still require discipline, but they will be focused. They will know that every step, every mile is taking them closer to their goal. Clarity fuels action. It's the compass that helps you navigate through uncertainty. When you know exactly where you are going, you can make decisions with confidence. You can push through the hard times with the knowledge that each struggle is bringing you closer to where you need to be. Without clarity, you'll waste time spinning your wheels, unsure of which way to go. But with clarity, you will move forward with intention, with purpose, and with power. But even with belief and clarity, there will be moments when the road gets tough. There will be obstacles that seem insurmountable, setbacks that feel like insurmountable walls, and failures that make you question everything. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It's what allows you to do the work day in and day out, even when it's hard, even when it feels like you're not making progress. When the going gets tough, and it will purpose, and discipline will be your foundation. Your purpose will keep you focused, and your discipline will keep you moving forward, even when everything in you wants to quit. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, when you can see the finish line, when everything is flowing. But true growth happens when the going gets tough. True growth happens when you push through the moments that test your strength, your resolve, and your commitment to your purpose. Think about the greats who have achieved remarkable things in their lives. They were not immune to hardship. They did not avoid failure. They did not escape struggle. What set them apart was their ability to keep going when everyone else would have quit. They stayed disciplined, they stayed focused, and they kept moving forward even when it seemed impossible. But there is one more thing that will fuel your journey. Resilience. Resilience is what allows you to bounce back when you fall. It's the ability to take the hits, learn from them, and rise stronger. It's the strength to face adversity, not with fear, but with courage. It's the inner resolve to keep going when the world seems to be crumbling around you. Resilience is born out of purpose. When your purpose is clear and when you are disciplined enough to stay the course, you will develop resilience. You will learn to take the hits, to keep your eyes on the prize, and to never give up. Your journey will not be easy. It will not always be smooth. But when you define your purpose and stay true to it, you will find the strength to face anything that comes your way. Purpose fuels your journey. It transforms struggle into growth, failure into lessons, and setbacks into opportunities. It's what keeps you moving forward even when the road is hard. As you continue on your path, remember this: the world needs what you have to offer. It needs your unique gifts, your passion, and your drive. The world is waiting for you to rise and fulfill your purpose. So define it, own it, and let it guide you to greatness. The obstacles you face are not there to stop you. They are there to shape you. And as you rise above them, you will discover just how powerful you truly are. Purpose fuels everything. Let it fuel your journey. There's a quiet power in clarity. It is the difference between wandering aimlessly through life and walking a path that you've chosen, a path that leads you toward your dreams, toward your vision, toward the person you were always meant to become. Yet so many of us walk through life with vague ambitions and scattered intentions, wishing for success, hoping for change, but never truly taking control. The reason so many people fail to reach their true potential is not because they lack the ability, but because they lack the clarity and the structure that is necessary to turn their dreams into reality. Imagine this: you are standing at the edge of a vast, empty field. You have everything you need to build something great, the resources, the energy, the potential, but you have no blueprint, no plan, no specific direction. You can wander across the field aimlessly searching for the perfect spot to start, but you will waste time, energy, and effort. The same is true for your life and your goals. Without a clear, specific target in mind, you are like that person wandering the field. You may make progress, but it will be haphazard, uncertain, and inefficient. But when you take the time to define your goals with precision, when you write them down and structure your efforts around them, the entire landscape of your future changes. Suddenly, you have a roadmap. Suddenly, you know exactly where you're going, why you're going there, and how to get there. You stop wasting energy and you start moving with purpose. This is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who never do. The clarity of vision and the ability to structure that vision into actionable, specific goals. Think about some of the most successful people in history, men and women who transformed the world. People like Andrew Carnegie, who came from humble beginnings and rose to become one of the wealthiest men of his time. Carnegie did not leave his success up to chance. He knew exactly what he wanted. He had specific goals in mind. He wanted to dominate the steel industry, and every decision he made was built around that vision. He wrote his goals down, planned his actions meticulously, and then executed with relentless precision. Every move he made was calculated, every step deliberate, and that's how he built his empire. Or think about Walt Disney, a man whose dreams were constantly dismissed, laughed at, and rejected. But what kept him going? It wasn't just the love for his craft, it was his clear, unshakable vision of what he wanted to create. Disney had a goal to create a place where families could escape into their imaginations, where children and adults alike could experience joy and wonder. That was his dream, and he made it his mission. He didn't just wish for it, he didn't just hope for it, he defined it. He wrote it down and he worked every single day to bring it into existence. These visionaries didn't achieve their greatness by being vague. They didn't say, "I want to be rich" or "I want to be successful." They were specific. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they structured their lives and efforts around those desires. Every decision they made was aligned with their vision. Every action they took was a step toward their ultimate goal. The difference between dreamers and achievers is not the size of the dream, but the clarity with which it is pursued. Now you might be thinking, I have big dreams too, but where do I start? How do I turn these ideas into something concrete? It all begins with writing your goals down. I'm not talking about simply thinking about them in passing or writing a few notes on the back of a napkin. I'm talking about defining your goals with laser-sharp specificity and writing them down in a place where you can see them every day. This act alone transforms your vague intentions into a clear, visible commitment. When you write your goals down, you are telling yourself and the universe, "This is what I want. This is my target. This is my focus." You give yourself something to work toward, something to measure your progress against. When your goals are written down, they are no longer just wishes or dreams. They are plans. They are your future laid out before you in black and white. And once you have those goals in place, you can begin to build the structure that will bring them to life. But specificity is key. Do not be vague in your vision. A vague goal like "I want to be successful" is too broad to be effective. Success is a result, not a goal. It's the destination, not the journey. Instead, define what success looks like for you. Do you want to be a successful entrepreneur? If so, what kind of business do you want to run? Do you want to be a successful artist? What kind of art will you create? Set a measurable target. For example, if you want to own a business, your goal could be, "I will build a profitable online business in the next 2 years, earning 100,000 in revenue by the end of year 2. Now that's a clear, specific goal, and that clarity will drive your decisions and actions. Your goals should not only be specific, but also structured. Break them down into smaller, actionable steps. If your ultimate goal is to write a book, for example, don't just say, "I want to write a book someday." That's vague and unmotivating. Instead, break it down. "I will write 500 words every day for the next 6 months with the goal of completing my first draft by the end of month 6. Now you have a concrete, measurable action plan that you can follow every single day. By creating this structure, you remove ambiguity. You make it impossible to procrastinate because every day is a new opportunity to make progress toward your goal. Writing your goals down with this level of specificity creates a sense of urgency. It removes the someday mentality. It forces you to confront your dreams head-on. When you write your goals down, they are no longer just ideas floating around in your head. They are real, they are tangible, and they are now your responsibility to make happen. But there's another crucial piece to this puzzle belief. You can have the most specific goals in the world, but if you don't believe in your ability to achieve them, they are nothing more than words on paper. Belief is the fuel that propels you forward when the road gets tough, when doubt creeps in, and when the weight of the journey starts to feel too heavy. Without belief, your goals will remain fantasies. But with belief, even the most impossible dreams can become a reality. If you don't already believe in yourself, start today. Remind yourself that you have everything you need within you to succeed. The world's greatest achievers didn't have more than you. They simply had a stronger belief in their ability to make their goals happen. They knew that the only true limit to success was the limit they placed on themselves. So write down your goals, make them specific, make them measurable, and then structure your daily actions to achieve them. But remember, the belief in your ability to achieve them is just as important as the goals themselves. Believe in your dreams, believe in your journey, and believe in the power of specificity to turn your vision into reality. It all begins with clarity. Clarity turns dreams into plans and plans into action. And when you align your actions with your purpose, when every step you take brings you closer to your vision. Success is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The world is waiting for you to bring your vision to life. It's time to get specific, get focused, and start making it happen. The road to success is waiting, and it begins with your goals, clearly defined, written down, and relentlessly pursued. Every dream you have, no matter how big, no matter how bold, starts as a single thought, a spark of possibility. You may have felt it before that moment when you see a vision of your future so clearly that it sends a rush of excitement through your veins. Maybe it's the thought of building your own business, becoming an artist, writing a book, or achieving financial freedom. That dream burns brightly in your chest, urging you to move, to act, to create. But without a clear path to follow, that dream remains just that, a dream. The greatest dreams in history, the ones that changed the world, were not achieved by wishful thinking alone. They were achieved by those who dared to transform their dreams into actionable goals, who broke them down into steps, who kept their eyes fixed on the prize, no matter how long or difficult the journey was. The question is, are you ready to take that first step? Are you ready to stop dreaming and start doing? Because the truth is, you don't need to be given permission to achieve your dreams. You don't need a blueprint from anyone else. All you need is the courage to take what's in your heart and break it down into something actionable, something real, something you can work toward every single day. Think of the greats who have walked before you, the Edisons, the Carnegies, the Lincolns, the Disneys, who all started with grand visions, dreams that seemed impossible. Edison wanted to light the world. Carnegie wanted to revolutionize steel. Lincoln sought to unify a country torn apart by civil war. Disney wanted to create a world where imagination and reality could meet. They didn't just sit around waiting for their dreams to fall into their laps. No, they made their dreams real through focused clarity and a relentless commitment to breaking down those grand dreams into concrete, actionable goals. Edison didn't sit idly, hoping that one day electricity would magically work. He spent countless hours testing ideas, experimenting, failing, learning. He set goals, test this, create that, try again. Carnegie didn't dream of wealth in vague terms. He had specific, measurable goals about how to dominate the steel industry, and he worked tirelessly to turn those goals into reality. These visionaries understood that the key to success lies not in having big dreams, but in knowing how to break them down. They knew that big dreams are like mountains, impossible to climb all at once. But if you take one step at a time, break it down into manageable milestones, and keep pushing forward, you'll eventually reach the summit. So how do you begin? How do you turn your grand vision into something achievable? It starts with setting concrete, actionable goals. You have to break down your dream into smaller steps, each one a milestone on your way to the top. When you start with a dream, it's a broad, wide-open horizon. You can see the future, but you can't always see the path to get there. This is where your goals come in. They are the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Without them, you're just wandering in the dark. With them, you're equipped with a map, a compass, and a clear path forward. Your first step is clarity. It's knowing exactly what you want. When you look at your dream, ask yourself, what success look like? Don't leave it vague. Define it. Maybe your goal is to become financially independent. What does that mean for you? Is it a certain income level? A specific investment strategy? A business venture? The clearer you can define your end goal, the easier it becomes to break it down into actionable steps. A clear, specific goal gives you a target. It makes the process tangible. It's like aiming for a bullseye. Without clarity, you're just throwing darts in the dark, hoping to hit something. Once you've defined your goal clearly, you must break it down into smaller, manageable milestones. This is where so many people go wrong. They think big dreams need to be tackled all at once. They overwhelm themselves with the size of their ambitions and get discouraged. But the key to success is not in taking on everything at once. It's in breaking the dream down into bite-sized, achievable steps. Take the example of someone who wants to write a book. The end goal might be to publish that book, but you can't just sit down and expect it to flow all at once. You break it down. Write 500 words a day. Complete one chapter a week. Research for 30 minutes each day. Those are the milestones that make the big goal achievable. If you set those goals day after day, you're going to find that in just a few months, you've got a completed manuscript. And with consistency, that manuscript becomes a published book. The key to achieving your goals is consistency. You can't just write down your milestones and then expect success to fall into your lap. You must show up every day, make progress, and hold yourself accountable to the actions you've set. It's the small, consistent steps that lead to massive progress over time. When you look at successful people, you see them doing the same thing day in and day out. They don't stop. The key to achieving your big dreams is in committing to the daily grind, knowing that every action you take is one step closer to your goal. But here's the thing. Breaking down your big dreams into milestones is only half of the battle. You must also stay grounded. The bigger the dream, the more potential there is for you to lose sight of reality. When you start to scale your vision, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of what success will look like. The fame, the fortune, the recognition. But the most successful people, the ones who achieve lasting success, are the ones who remain grounded, focused on the present moment, and committed to the process. When you set milestones, make sure you are rooted in the present, focused on the process rather than just the end result. You can't control everything. You can't control when your book will be published, when your business will be profitable, or when you'll achieve financial freedom, but you can control what you do today. You can control how much effort you put into each step. You can control whether you keep moving forward, whether you keep hitting those milestones, no matter how small. The journey toward your dreams is not going to be smooth. There will be setbacks, challenges, and frustrations. You will doubt yourself. You will question if it's all worth it. But the key to staying grounded is understanding that every setback is part of the process. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to get stronger. Break your goals down into smaller, more achievable parts and tackle them one by one. Each milestone you reach is a victory, and it brings you closer to your dream. You see, the real power lies in consistency and perseverance. It's not the big leaps that make the difference. It's the small, deliberate actions taken every single day that create lasting change. It's easy to get caught up in the vision of the end goal. But what truly matters, what truly moves you forward, is focusing on the present moment and the tasks that are in front of you. When you stay focused, break down your goals into manageable steps and consistently take action. Success is inevitable. It's like a puzzle. You may not see the full picture right away, but each piece you put into place brings you closer to the masterpiece. You have the power to create your future, to turn your dreams into reality. All it takes is commitment, focus, and the willingness to take one small step after another. So set your goals, break them down, write them down, keep them specific, keep them clear, and keep them grounded. And every day, take action. With every milestone you reach, you are one step closer to turning your dream into your reality. The power is in your hands. It always has been. Now go, take the next step. Every day you are faced with a choice between the comfort of mediocrity and the fire of greatness. There is an undeniable pull to stay where you are, to blend in with the crowd, to do what is easy, to follow the path that requires the least resistance. It's in our nature to seek comfort, to avoid discomfort, to choose the familiar over the unknown. But what if I told you that the path to your greatness, the very thing that will make you stand out in a world filled with the ordinary, is not found in avoiding the resistance, but in embracing it? What if I told you that the very criticism, the very doubt, the very pushback you face in your pursuit of success is the thing that will refine you, sharpen your vision, and turn you into someone who cannot be ignored? Resistance is not a force that works against you. It is a force that works for you. It is the fire that forges you. Every challenge, every setback, every piece of criticism, every moment of doubt. These are the tools that will shape you into the person you need to be to accomplish your vision. Greatness is not the result of a smooth and easy ride. It is the byproduct of consistent, unwavering commitment despite the odds stacked against you. It is forged in the battle against resistance. Think of the giants in history who transformed the world, people like Thomas Edison, who was told time and time again that his dream of harnessing electricity was a fool's errand. He was met with ridicule, rejection, and even failure. Yet he persisted. Why? Because Edison knew that greatness wasn't going to come easily. He knew that the more resistance he faced, the closer he was to breaking through. Every no, every rejection, every criticism was simply a test of his resolve. Edison didn't fold. He embraced the resistance, used it to fuel his fire, and as a result, he changed the world. Or take a look at Abraham Lincoln, a man who, before becoming one of the greatest presidents in American history, faced failure after failure. He ran for public office multiple times and lost. He faced immense criticism for his leadership, even as the nation teetered on the brink of collapse. But Lincoln, despite the odds, despite the critics, despite the weight of the world pressing down on him, stayed committed to his vision. He didn't let the voices of doubt dictate his actions. He rose above the negativity, and his vision for a united nation drove him to greatness. Every single person who has ever achieved anything remarkable has been met with resistance. Every entrepreneur who built an empire, every artist who created something that left a mark on the world, every leader who inspired nations. They all faced criticism, they all faced doubt, and most importantly, they all faced moments where it seemed easier to quit than to keep going. But what did they do in those moments? Did they bow to the critics? Did they give in to the doubt? No, they stayed committed. They embraced the resistance. They used the criticism as fuel to prove the naysayers wrong. They understood that doubt is a sign that they were on the right path, that they were pushing the boundaries, that they were doing something that mattered. You see, doubt is not the enemy. Criticism is not the enemy. Resistance is not the enemy. These are the things that refine you, that hone your character, that test your commitment. The enemy is complacency. The enemy is the fear that stops you from moving forward, the fear that tells you to play it safe, to follow the crowd, to shrink back when things get tough. But let me tell you this, if you want to achieve greatness, you must be willing to step into the unknown. You must be willing to face the doubt, the criticism, and the resistance head on, knowing that these things are not there to break you. They are there to build you. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had the easiest journey. They are the ones who faced the harshest resistance, and instead of running from it, they leaned into it. They knew that greatness was born through adversity. They knew that every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt was simply a stepping stone toward their vision, and they used it to their advantage. They understood that resistance refines the vision, that it sharpens their focus, that it teaches them valuable lessons about themselves, about their capabilities, and about the world around them. But how do you stay committed when the resistance seems overwhelming? How do you keep going when the critics are loud, the doubts are heavy, and the road ahead seems impossible? It all starts with your mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world. It's how you interpret every challenge, every setback, and every moment of doubt. If you see resistance as an obstacle, as something to fear, then it will paralyze you. But if you see it as an opportunity, as a test of your resolve, then it will propel you forward. The key to overcoming resistance is not in avoiding it, but in shifting your perspective on it. When you are faced with criticism, when the doubt creeps in, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? When you are told that your vision is impossible, that it will never work, ask yourself, how can I prove them wrong? Use every piece of resistance as a lesson, as a tool that sharpens you, refines you, and makes you stronger. Every time someone tells you that you can't do it, take it as a reminder that you are doing something worthwhile. When the world tells you to quit, take it as confirmation that you are on the right path. Remember, the people who criticize you are often the ones who are too afraid to take the same risks that you are taking. They are the ones who never pushed through their own resistance, who never dared to go after something bigger than themselves. But you are different. You are willing to face the resistance because you know that it is the key to your transformation. This is where belief comes in. You must believe in your vision, in your purpose, and in yourself, no matter how many obstacles you encounter. The belief in your vision is what will keep you going when everything else seems to be falling apart. It's the anchor that keeps you grounded when the storms of doubt threaten to overwhelm you. When you have a strong belief in your purpose, nothing can shake you. You become invincible. The resistance only strengthens you. It becomes the fuel that propels you forward one step at a time, but belief alone is not enough. you must also have discipline. Discipline is the commitment to show up every day, regardless of how you feel. It's the ability to keep working toward your goal, even when the progress seems slow, even when the rewards seem distant. Discipline is what turns your dreams into reality. It's what ensures that you don't give up when the resistance feels too strong. When you have belief and discipline, you become unstoppable. You move through life with purpose, with clarity, with an unwavering commitment to your vision. Every piece of resistance becomes an opportunity to prove yourself, to grow stronger, and to move one step closer to your dream. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who avoid the storm. They are the ones who walk through it, head held high, knowing that the storm is exactly what they need to get to the other side. And then there is gratitude. Gratitude for the journey, for the resistance, for the growth that comes through adversity. Gratitude transforms the struggle into something meaningful. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It reminds you that every step, every challenge, every setback is part of the process, and that you are exactly where you need to be. You see, resistance is not the enemy. It's the teacher. It's the forge that refines you into something stronger, sharper, more resilient. Embrace it. Commit to your vision. Stay grounded in your belief, and use every moment of resistance to propel you forward. When you do this, when you face every challenge, every criticism, and every doubt with unshakable resolve, you will transform into a force that cannot be stopped. You will achieve greatness, not because it was easy, but because you chose to stay committed despite the resistance. You chose to rise above the noise, to embrace the struggle, and to keep moving forward no matter what. And in the end, you will look back and realize that the very resistance that threatened to break you was the very thing that made you stronger. It was the thing that forged you into someone capable of achieving what you once thought impossible. It was the thing that led you to your greatness. You've heard the stories, you've seen the headlines, people rising from nothing against all odds to achieve greatness. What is it that makes them different? What is it that pushes them to rise again and again, when the world seems to be pressing them down, when the winds of doubt blow fiercely in their faces? The answer is adaptability. The ability to evolve, to shift with the times, to pivot when the road ahead becomes uncertain. This is not just a trait of the successful. It is the trait of those who thrive, of those who take control of their destinies, no matter what life throws their way. Because the truth is, nothing stays the same. The world is constantly changing. The economy shifts, technology advances, new obstacles emerge. The landscape of success is never static. If you don't evolve with it, you will be left behind. But here's the powerful truth. The ones who succeed are not the ones who have the perfect plan and never stray from it. No, the ones who succeed are the ones who are willing to embrace change, to step outside of their comfort zones, to take the leap, even when the future is unclear. They understand that success is not a straight line, but a journey full of twists and turns. They don't fear the unknown. They lean into it because they know that adaptability is their superpower. Think of someone like Thomas Edison, a man who revolutionized the world, not just through innovation, but through an incredible ability to adapt. He didn't get it right on the first try, or the second, or the third. No, Edison failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded in creating the light bulb. And each failure was not a defeat. It was a lesson in adaptability. Every time he encountered an obstacle, he adapted, changed his approach, refined his methods, and learned something new. That's what allowed him to eventually light the world. Edison wasn't afraid of failure. He welcomed it because he knew it was the best teacher, the best mentor on his path to success. And let's talk about Henry Ford, a man whose vision transformed the world and put the American automobile industry on the map. But Ford's journey was not without struggle. His first 2 attempts at building a car company failed miserably. The world wasn't ready for him. Yet he didn't abandon his dream. He adapted. He didn't give up because the world didn't immediately accept his vision. He went back to the drawing board, adjusted his approach, and eventually developed the assembly line that revolutionized mass production. Ford didn't just build cars, he built a future. He understood that adaptability wasn't just a choice, It was a necessity for survival and success. And then there's Walt Disney, another visionary who faced rejection after rejection. Disney was told his ideas were too fantastical, too impossible that no one would want to see animated films, that he would never succeed. But Disney had one thing that set him apart, an unwavering belief in his ability to adapt. Instead of listening to the critics, he pushed forward, constantly adapting, constantly evolving his vision until he created not just a theme park, not just a studio, but an empire. Disney's legacy is built on innovation, on embracing change, on adapting to a world that was constantly evolving. So what is it that these men had in common? It was their ability to pivot, to adjust, to never be so rigid that they couldn't change course when necessary. They understood that sticking to the same path, refusing to evolve, would mean failure. They knew that success is not found in holding onto old ideas, but in the willingness to embrace the new, to evolve with the times. This is the power of adaptability. It's the ability to evolve with your environment, to change course when needed, to keep moving forward no matter the circumstances. It's the thing that allows you to rise when everything seems to be falling apart. It's the key to staying on the path toward your goals, even when the road is long, hard, and filled with obstacles. You see, the world is unpredictable. The circumstances that once worked in your favor may no longer be relevant. The strategies that brought you success yesterday may not work today, and that's okay. It's part of the journey. The secret to achieving lasting success is not about finding a formula and sticking to it no matter what. It's about learning to pivot when things don't go according to plan. It's about having the resilience to adapt to the changing landscape, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep moving forward. Let's talk about resilience for a moment. Resilience is not just about bouncing back from failure, it's about bouncing forward. It's about using every setback as an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to become better. When you face a challenge, you don't just grit your teeth and bear it. You adapt, you learn, you adjust your approach, you find a new solution. Because the only way to survive in an ever-changing world is to evolve with it. Think about your own life. What's something you've been struggling with? What's an area where you've hit a wall? What's a dream you've had that seems out of reach? I can guarantee that the solution is not going to be found in doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for different results. No, the solution is in your ability to adapt. It's in your ability to assess your situation, to look at your obstacles, and then to find a new way around them. Adaptability isn't about avoiding problems. It's about finding new ways to solve them. It's about having the courage to embrace change, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to evolve into the next version of yourself. And here's the thing, adaptability doesn't just happen, it's a skill that you must actively develop. You must cultivate the mindset that embraces change. You must become comfortable with discomfort, with the uncertainty that comes with growth. You must be willing to take risks, to try new things, to step into the unknown. The more you practice adaptability, the more natural it becomes. It becomes a muscle that you can strengthen every day, and the stronger it becomes, the more capable you will be of handling whatever comes your way. Let's dive deeper into what this looks like on a practical level. Imagine you've set a goal for yourself and everything seems to be moving in the right direction, but suddenly circumstances change. The economy shifts. A new competitor enters the market. A personal setback throws you off course. These changes might make it seem like your goal is no longer achievable, but instead of panicking, instead of giving up, you have a choice. You can either fold or you can adapt. If you choose to adapt, you'll start by reassessing your situation. What has changed? How can you adjust your approach to continue moving forward? Maybe you need to learn a new skill. Maybe you need to reframe your strategy. Maybe you need to find new opportunities in the very challenges that seem to be holding you back. But the key is that you are willing to evolve. You are willing to change. You are willing to pivot. And because of that, you are always moving toward your goal, even if the path looks different from what you imagined. This is how you maintain momentum in the face of adversity. This is how you stay on the path to success, even when the road ahead is uncertain. You adapt, you evolve, you refuse to be boxed in by circumstances. And as you do, you build a level of resilience that will carry you through every storm. The greatest innovators, the greatest leaders, the greatest achievers in history weren't the ones who stayed the same. They were the ones who adapted, who saw opportunities in change and who never stopped evolving. So where are you right now? Are you stuck in a situation where things aren't going as planned? Are you facing resistance that makes it feel impossible to move forward? It's time to embrace that resistance. It's time to shift your mindset and see this as your moment to evolve. The path to greatness is not a straight line. It's full of unexpected twists and turns. But every twist, every turn is an opportunity for growth. If you're willing to adapt, to learn, to evolve with every challenge that comes your way, then no obstacle will be too great for you to overcome. You will not just survive, you will thrive. Success does not belong to those who refuse to change. It belongs to those who learn to ride the waves of change, who grow with every challenge, and who never lose sight of their vision. Adaptability is the key. So let go of the old ways of thinking. Embrace the new. Step into the unknown, knowing that it is only through change that you will find the true success that you seek. The world is waiting for you to evolve. Your greatness is waiting for you to adapt. Now is your moment. Embrace it. There are moments in every journey when the road seems too steep, when the obstacles feel insurmountable, and when the weight of the world seems too heavy to carry. You've felt it before, haven't you? That voice in your head that tells you it's too hard, too risky, too much. It whispers doubts in your ear, tries to convince you to quit, to give in, to settle for what's easy. It's in these moments that your true battle begins, the battle between your circumstances and your mindset. You see, the greatest obstacle you will ever face in your life is not the external challenges that come your way. It's not the setbacks, the failures, the rejection. The greatest obstacle you will face is the battle within your own mind. Your mind is the gatekeeper to your destiny. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It can propel you forward or it can hold you back. The question is, what are you feeding it? What are you allowing it to consume? If you want to rise above the challenges, if you want to break through the barriers that stand in your way, you must first master your mindset. You must train your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You must learn how to feed it with positivity, with the belief that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. Because the truth is, your mind is the lens through which you view the world. If you see the world as full of limitations, then your life will be full of limitations. But if you see the world as full of possibilities, if you see every setback as an opportunity for growth, then there is no limit to what you can achieve. The giants of history, the men and women who shaped the world, understood this better than anyone. They didn't become successful because they had it easy. No, they faced adversity just like you. They faced criticism, failure, rejection. But what set them apart wasn't their circumstances. It was their mindset. They knew that the key to success wasn't in avoiding obstacles, but in mastering their response to those obstacles. Take Thomas Edison, for example, the man who changed the world with his invention of the light bulb. But what most people don't know is that Edison faced countless failures along the way. He was told by experts that his ideas were impossible, that they would never work. He tried thousands of different ways to make the light bulb work and failed each time. Most people would have given up, but Edison didn't. He didn't let the failures define him. He didn't let the doubt and criticism stop him. He changed his mindset. Every failure was not a reason to quit, but a lesson to learn from. And when someone asked him how he felt about all his failures, he responded, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is the power of mindset. Edison didn't let his circumstances determine his future. He didn't let the obstacles in his path stop him. He saw every setback as a stepping stone, every failure as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to refine his approach. And that's why he succeeded where others failed. Then there's Abraham Lincoln, a man who is perhaps the best example of overcoming internal and external obstacles. Lincoln faced loss, ridicule, and defeat at nearly every turn. He failed in business, lost multiple elections, and was mocked for his ideas. Yet he remained steadfast. He didn't let his failures stop him. He didn't let the criticism define him. His mindset, his unwavering belief in his vision was what carried him through the darkest days. And in the end, it was that mindset that made him one of the greatest presidents in American history. These men weren't born with extraordinary advantages. What they had was the power of their minds. They understood that to succeed, they had to train their minds to stay positive, to remain focused, to see beyond the obstacles. They knew that setbacks were not the end, but the beginning of something greater. So what about you? What are you feeding your mind? What thoughts are you allowing to take root in your mind and shape your reality? When setbacks come, and they will come, what do you tell yourself? Do you say, "This is too hard. I'm not good enough. Maybe I should give up"? Or do you say, "This is a challenge I can overcome. This is an opportunity for growth. I will learn from this setback and I will keep moving forward"? The way you respond to setbacks determines your future. The way you respond to adversity shapes your destiny. If you feed your mind with negativity, with self-doubt, with fear, you will remain stuck. But if you feed your mind with positivity, with hope, with the belief that you are capable of overcoming anything, you will rise above. You will take each setback and turn it into an opportunity. You will turn failure into fuel, and you will keep moving forward toward your goals. So how do you begin to master your mindset? How do you start feeding your mind with the positivity and strength it needs to overcome obstacles? It starts with awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts you are thinking. Too often we let our minds run on autopilot. We allow negative thoughts to slip in without even realizing it. But your mind is your most powerful tool. You must guard it, nurture it, and feed it with the thoughts that will help you grow. Start by paying attention to your self-talk. When you face a challenge, do you say, "I can't do this," or "I don't have what it takes"? If so, it's time to change that. Replace those thoughts with affirmations that empower you. Instead of saying, "I can't say I can and I will." Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am more than capable. I have everything I need to succeed." But awareness is only the beginning. The next step is action. Mastering your mindset is not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about backing those thoughts up with action. Every time you face a setback, you have a choice. You can choose to retreat into negativity, or you can choose to take action. Action is what turns your mindset into results. It's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. When you take action, you are telling your mind that you are in control, that you are committed to your vision, and that no setback will stop you from achieving your goals. You see, positivity alone isn't enough. Action is what brings your mindset to life. When you are positive and proactive, you send a powerful message to your mind and to the world. I am unstoppable. I will overcome every obstacle. I will learn, I will grow, and I will succeed. And as you continue to take action, you will build momentum. The more you act, the more your mind will believe in your ability to succeed, and the more your confidence will grow. But there will be times, as you know, when the doubts creep in. There will be moments when it feels like the world is against you. In those moments, it is even more important to feed your mind with positivity. It's easy to be positive when everything is going well, but the true test of your mindset comes when things get tough. That's when your mindset is truly put to the test. That's when you have to dig deep and remind yourself of your strength, your resilience, and your ability to overcome anything. Remember, every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. Every setback is a chance to learn to adapt and to come back stronger. You are not defined by your setbacks, by your failures, or by the obstacles that come your way. You are defined by how you respond to them. If you choose to feed your mind with positivity, with belief in yourself, and with a commitment to take action, then nothing will be able to stop you. And here's the most powerful part. The more you master your mindset, the more natural it becomes. It becomes a habit, a way of life. The negative thoughts, the self-doubt, the fear, they lose their power over you. You become the master of your thoughts, the architect of your reality. So, commit to feeding your mind with positivity. Commit to mastering your mindset. Every day, in every situation, choose thoughts that empower you, actions that move you forward, and belief that strengthens you. When you do this, you will overcome every obstacle, turn every setback into an opportunity for growth, and walk a path toward your greatest success. The world is waiting for you. The challenges are waiting for you, and most importantly, your greatness is waiting for you. It's time to rise. It's time to master your mindset and conquer every obstacle in your path. The world will know your name, and it will be because you didn't let anything stop you.